Recently, members of Matt Roloff's family returned to Roloff Farms during the tumult surrounding the Little People Big World. After the acrimonious family dispute, is this a genuine offer of reconciliation? TLC milked the Roloff Farms plot for a while in the Little People Big World sequences. At first, Zach and Jeremy Roloff intended to purchase a share of the family property. This would be a major financial commitment in addition to keeping things inside the family. As it happened, Matt Roloff made the decision to rent out that section of the property for a shorter period of time. Matt did not sell at an enormous family discount just because Zach and Jeremy Roloff are his kids. Rather, he took a cunning financial decision that caused his son's sentiments to be harmed. Fans of Little People Big World will recall that TLC ran a major plotline around the Roloff Farms crisis and its aftermath. Zach Roloff and his father, Matt Roloff, became quite estranged from one another as a result, and Zach and Tori moved to Battleground, Washington. Zach Roloff was resentful of everything that happened even in the most current season of the program. It was clear that there were still sore sentiments between Matt and Karen Chandler, despite their statements that they had tried to reach out. In a clear jab at Matt Roloff, many fans of Little People Big World even saw Zach and Tori Roloff leave the program after season 25. According to the most current Little People Big World updates circulating, Roloff Farms was visited by Jeremy Roloff and his family. Jeremy, Audrey, and their kids were there this year as well. This time of year is all about pumpkin season, which draws tourists each year. It's encouraging that Jeremy Roloff and his family are spending time at Roloff Farms because it might help to mend the breach in the family caused by the botched farm transaction. The fact that Jeremy and his family visited the property indicates that the family divide is narrowing, even if Zach and Tori Roloff still appear to be at odds. Matt Roloff has regretted not being able to see his grandchildren as often as he has while this family conflict has continued. Jeremy and Audrey's grandchildren allowed him to see them at least in this instance. Since 2006, the Roloff family's development and evolution have been chronicled in Little People Big World. After season 25, Zach Roloff and his spouse Tori departed from the TLC reality series. Sadly, he didn't leave his father Matt in good standing. Will the conflict come to an end when cameras are not present? I'm not sure. In the epilogue, Zach's mother and Matt's ex-wife, Amy, stated, of course, he's the father and grandfather. However, she went on, I don't think they'll ever look at it as that father-son bonding relationship type of thing. But Amy promised to assist them in getting back in touch if necessary. How did the father-son conflict get to this point? Let's examine their conflict. In Oregon, the family owns a 100-acre farm. The father got it in 1990 and went on to have 4 children with Amy. Amy gave Matt 32 acres of it in 2020. Zach assumed that, along with his twin, Jeremy, he would inherit it as one of the eldest boys. The 62-year-old father stated in the season 16 opener, "We're all but decided that when I die, we're giving whatever piece of the farm I still have to Amy. It's too complicated to give it to someone else," he continued. In season 22, Zach and Tori discussed purchasing a portion of the property. It was where they intended to raise their 3 kids. This startled his mother. She stated on the broadcast that it was undoubtedly unexpected. I had no idea he was considering it. I'm aware that Jeremy has given it a lot of thought. It makes a big difference in how Matt and I view this property. The conversation was put on hold since an employee rented the large house on the farm. But according to People, Matt later listed the 373-square-foot farmhouse and the 16-acre plot of property for sale in May 2022. Later that year, in October, the owner partnered with iTrip Vacations to turn the property into a short-term rental. The house may still be rented out for a holiday. This April, Matt shared photos of the rental property on Instagram. For those who go at the last minute on a whim or who are searching for an adventure of a lifetime, reservations for Roloff Farms' large home are still open for this coming weekend. Spend 3 nights in the exact same house that you've seen on television over the past 20-plus years, the post description says. Zach's father rejected his bid to purchase the farm. For a whole year, the father and son engaged in talks. Zach made an offer of $1.6 million after Matt listed the piece of the property for $4 million. even with a family discount. The discrepancy was too much for the father to bear. Jeremy also did not proceed with purchasing the land. In 2022, he made a different purchase, a farm with a trestle. This is a reference to his marriage proposal. In an Instagram comment introducing their property, Jeremy's wife Audrey said, "We've got a lot of work ahead of us to realize our vision, but Jer and I are excited to finally have some space to get our hands dirty and bring our dreams of using land into reality." In 2019, the duo announced their departure from the program to access Hollywood. "It's a long time to do anything, and after 14 years, I simply got to the point where I just kind of grew up doing it." Rather than truly saying yes, he added, "It's been incredible, too. In response to your question, I would reply that I would do it all over again. That, in my opinion, speaks volumes about my experience, although I wouldn't swap it for anything. The wait is considerable. It's time to move on to something new." The duo has published books, a podcast, and a YouTube channel. Now that his brother has quit the program, Zach is doing the same. He and his spouse, however, provided another explanation for their departure, citing the family negotiation as the cause. On the third episode of their YouTube channel this February, the married pair discussed leaving the popular reality TV program. Zach said, "I think the chapter is closed regardless of whether we are asked back or not. We made it quite obvious that we were ending that chapter for a number of reasons. This last cycle was rough," he continued. "We were over with it, between the family and the farm arrangement." Tori confessed that their belief in little people, big world had faded. They had a difficult time filming their final season as a result. In the first season, Zach was about 13 years old. The pair admitted that they were afraid to put their romance in the spotlight. Tori said, "I was your first girlfriend, and I didn't want to be the one breaking Zach's heart on national television." After becoming friends and working on the Roloff farm, they began dating. They dated for 4 years, ending in 2015 with their marriage. Tori stated that after the family's journey to Australia, she decided against filming. Jackson, Lila, and Josiah are the 3 children that the parents have together. They said that the youngsters occasionally refused to shoot, which had an impact on the outcome and was another factor in their decision to stay away. They said the kids could choose not to be filmed and that the production was accommodating. Zach stated, "For me, even though the pressure was still on, I was aware of what was taking place. I was aware that a manufacturing day would cost X dollars." Later on, he talked about the conflict with his family. He stated, "It's time for me to take a break, away from my family, which is well documented. In my perspective, the farm purchase got through, among other things." Zach stated that time was of the essence, being the last of Matt and Amy's children left on the program. He believed that things were continuing in the same manner and that they should have changed. Zach was sick of talking about his divorced parents and felt compelled to act as a mediator between them. "At 30, no one does that," he remarked. Sharing their lives in ways that they can manage, such as on their podcast and social media, makes Zach and Tori happy. Whether Little People, Big World will receive a second season renewal is uncertain. In response, Matt expressed his hypothesis in a Facebook post. Read a portion of the text to see why viewers prefer relationship drama before resolves. Producing the show becomes more difficult the less times Chris and Karen are seen interacting with each other and replacing family members. He thinks the network is most likely waiting to see what happens with the family to see if there are any unique prospects or a format for an additional season because they are unsure about the network's future. The father also talked about his reasons for not selling to either of his 2 oldest sons. Since they are twins, they have always been very competitive. But in this particular circumstance, I couldn't allow one of them prevail, Matt stated. "It was a really complicated situation for me as a father, and I can't claim I handled it well. I love all of my children and grandkids," he declared. The patriarch said in his letter how happy he is to see Zach and Jeremy succeed.